Hello, and welcome to another Phoenix Fitness Fanatics magazine featured business spotlight. Happy Friday as well, everybody, because this is the end of a fantastic week. I hope you all had an amazing and just wonderful week. So today we got a special show. We actually have a special guest host today with Phoenix Fitness Fanatics taking center stage on that Own It platform. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my special guest host. Good morning, Lady Cleopatra.
Good morning, Tiffany. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for joining me this morning on this special day. We don't have a lot of special hosts on the show, so I'm just really excited to have you here and just to see where this show is going to go. Our special guest today is just an amazing young woman. I'm going to go ahead and bring her on in the house. Good morning, Megan Marie. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. How about you, beautiful ladies?
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us today on Phoenix Fitness Fanatics Magazine, elevating your mind,
Having
body, and
me.
spirit. Now, today I'm going to go ahead and have these ladies introduce themselves because today we're going to be getting into a little more of the energetic side of things, okay? We tend to talk about the physical, the mental, we talk about the spirituality as well as that financial piece, but energy is everything, y'all. So we're going to get to talk a little bit about that. And we're going to talk about your handwriting and what your handwriting actually means to you. So, Lady Cleopatra, go ahead and tell everyone a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Yes, so a little bit about me. I am a spiritual life coach. I just started a second business called Celebration LLC, and it's all about inspiring people to celebrate themselves today. Don't wait until tomorrow. Don't worry about yesterday. Just start celebrating yourself, the small things and the big things. And I'm also an artist, so I create eyewear as well.
Awesome. Well, welcome. Thank you. And Miss Megan Marie, please introduce yourself to our audience today.
Hello, lovelies. So I'm Megan Marie. I am a mental health wellness coach and energy coach. I am holistic. My journey started many, many years ago. I've always been fascinated with psychology, and I have many times gone down that education route of studying to obtain the degree, but it never fits with me. And the more I realized on the spiritual aspect and the holistic, that was more of the approach that I wanted to go in life. And it was beautiful watching of how the study of the mind come together, but also spirit, and taking that mind and that body, and then how it comes into the energy aspect and how it's the whole alignment of the mind, body, and soul, and bringing them together and helping people figure that out. And it's great and it's beautiful. And I have like over 30 different certifications in all different areas, which provide me lots of expertise in just different ways. And just it's how do we embody? Our body has all the signs, even including down to handwriting and how you write, and the energy is to what you portray into it, and really opening and seeing that in that bigger picture is a beautiful process.
Awesome. Well, I am going to go ahead and sneak off into the background, y'all. And I'm going to go ahead and let you, Lady Cleopatra, take the wheel here and interview Megan. So thank you so much, Megan, for joining us. And I'll see you guys soon.
Okay. Megan, I'm so excited to have you. You're my first person that I'm interviewing on this beautiful platform. And I know I did a little bit of handwriting for you. Could you just give us a little backstory on how you can look at someone's handwriting and get an in-depth look at their personality? And if you have a couple of key things about my handwriting that I shared with you.
Yeah, when it got brought to my attention on the handwriting, it's something that's always like been in the back of my mind. Like, is there's so many signs and so many clues that there has to be something, in your handwriting. There has to be something. And guess what? I found out I was right. And how universe works and how universe lines is sometimes when you ask those questions, those people get brought to you because that's the energy that you're putting out. And I got connected with a few people who actually study handwriting, and it was a phenomenal experience having my own handwriting actually analyzed. And you think you're hiding so much about yourself, but your handwriting doesn't lie. And so when you're like, someone's reading your handwriting and they're telling you everything about yourself that you don't share with other people, you think you do a really good job of hiding it, but it's there. And it's beautiful though, because of the fact that once you see and really recognize it's, kind of embodying it, is that, this is me, then, you can change that. You can learn a different way to adapt to it. You can change that energy. And so, yeah, so like with your handwriting, as like we were talking, the D,
Okay.
the way that you write your D. And as we talked, you were like, I'm completely fine being in my house. I go out, I like to go out, but then, I quickly come home and I'm like, I want to be inside. Well, that's because of your D and how it is written and how the loop goes. It does show that you care too much about other people's opinions. And so and you're like, no, I like to go. Well, really, no, because you have to deal with other people's opinions and you don't like to hear those other people's opinions because you think about those people's opinions. Well, to correct that in yourself, now stop writing the loop. And just by taking that time and doing the straight up line and straight down the way it is, you're giving identity to yourself, because not only is that the line of the D, that's also the line of the I, which is I am.
So like
So you're
stepping into your own personal power.
stepping into your own personal power of that. Yeah, you can listen to everyone else's opinions. Everyone has them, everyone
Right.
has an opinion, everything, but you don't have to. And you can actually train yourself just by your writing of that. You're not going to take on that energy of other people.
I love
You
that.
are defiant on who you are. And then
Right.
what's beautiful of, because the D was actually one of the first letters that was also given to me as to that I needed to work on my D. And I was in the same position of like, I don't care what anyone else thinks,
Right.
but I avoid going out. I don't want to deal with other people. I don't, it's just not anything that like I'm screaming of, oh, I have to go do this, because
Right.
I have to deal with other people. I have to listen to other people's conversations.
Uh-huh.
You have to and I don't want to,
Uh-huh.
because all of them are judgmental. If you
Right. It's a lot of work.
it is so much work, but the
Uh-huh.
more, that I concentrate on that. And then what's beautiful about the D too is how the D is actually supposed to be written. It's actually supposed to be in an oval, like a note shape,
Like a music note.
kind of like, so that's exactly, you're doing a
Really?
backwards note on the scale
Okay.
of the music, which speaks then to your chakras. So now as you're
Mm.
working on the D, which is related, which goes into sound therapy, you see how like this is what's
Yeah.
so beautiful about
Oh
like
my
everything I'm
goodness.
studying, and opens, because it completely leads you to all these others if you're willing to be open to the signs of this is how
Mm-hmm.
you work on yourself. So now that you have an issue with the D chakra, I mean
Mm-hmm.
the D chakra, you know, now you know that you need to go work with that and
Right.
continue writing the letters to be mindful and conscious
Mm-hmm. And
of that
intentional.
and intentional,
Right.
and see how beautiful it like all goes. And then
Yeah.
what's cool is as you're learning about it, you learn that, like that letter is related to, oh, that finger. Oh, that finger is related
Mm.
to that chakra. Oh, which that finger and that chakra are related to that element, which are related to these organs in my body. Let me
Mm.
use a hand mudra and speak to them and communicate. And you can completely start to embody every part and answer and listen to all the clues.
That's beautiful. And you mentioned that hand mudra. So I know that you have an event coming up tomorrow. I'm so
You.
excited about this webinar. Can you tell us about that?
I'm really excited about it. So this is my first me doing anything like on my own. So I'm going to say, I put it out there. I'm a little nervous about the actual like presentation, but it's the information.
Yeah.
No matter what of every other aspect, the information that you are going to learn, whether you are related, like, you don't need to know about chakras, because of the fact that I'm going to give you kind of a brief, a basic like breakdown of like
Mm-hmm.
basically like, hey, these are our centers, because tomorrow is going to be about using the hand mudras to connect to the 7 main chakra systems, and how and why, the science actually behind it. So this isn't just people, that's one thing with a lot of the stuff that people also need to remember, is that years ago, this is what all the culturals did. This is what
Mm-hmm.
all of our ancestors did.
Mm-hmm.
And then over years, it's kind of been pushed out as more of, really pharmaceutical and all that stuff has come in. They don't
Right.
want us to heal ourselves. They don't want
Right.
us to have that aspect, but we can take back that power and we can learn it and get connected to our ancestors also, which is near the
Nice.
root. So that's kind of what tomorrow is about, is like give you kind of like the fundamentals of like what are chakras. We are matter, your whole body, whether it's science, your matter. We have protons and neutrons, and they connect and they have signals in each of your fingers as to where the electronic communication goes. And by placing your hands together in certain ways, like this is the heart, where you
Nice.
can sit there with your hands like that. And what's really cool too is also like I've always had an interest in like palmistry.
Mm-hmm.
So much stuff. Learning the hand mudras is actually
Mm-hmm.
helping me learn palmistry, because I'm
Nice.
learning about the certain plateaus and different things like that. And so with
Mm-hmm.
the heart mudra, you want the Neptunes to be connected. So you want the bottom places, which also
Okay.
go into your lifeline. It goes into your
Mm.
fate line. It goes into your destiny line. I mean, it's just beautiful, and how the lines. But then you cup it like a
Uh-huh.
tulip,
Okay.
and then you space your elbows out
Mm-hmm.
and sit there for 1 to 5 minutes. You should
Mm-hmm.
never do a hand mudra for less than a minute. You want
Okay.
like space it out more as you can,
Like that.
like the arches of your hand. Now keep your thumbs together.
Okay.
Yeah, we got some opening to do.
Okay. I'm very close. I've been
Yeah, you
hiding in the
are.
house for years.
Yeah, your hands show it. Yeah, because you want to be able to like make like a cup, like you would be able to drink, like fill water up, and you would be able to drink. You got to remember it's the heart chakra, so we're drinking the love. Yeah, but practicing and doing that, it's just like yoga. It's like with any
Yeah.
other exercise. The
Yeah.
more that you become flexible,
Mm-hmm.
become more open up, which helps open up the chakra. And um, whether you believe in energy or not, you will feel something. This isn't just like little things that like you will feel like the energy.
Okay,
You
so we're gonna take a quick commercial
all
break,
right.
and then we're gonna come back and highlight this topic. Okay. All right. So welcome back to Phoenix Fitness Fanatics. I wanted to reintroduce you to the wonderful Megan Marie. We left off talking about hand mudra and how it's like yoga, where it's something you have to practice in order to get better, and how it's connected to our energy. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, well, we have the seven main chakra systems, and if people don't know, it's your root, it's your sacral, your solar plex, your heart, your throat, your third eye, and your crown. And for people who don't, the medical world now calls this the vagus nerve, where it's the same medians and stuff. So that's what's really cool too, is that the medical community is getting behind the information of
Nice.
chakra.
And that's new, right? Because before they were very separate worlds.
Very separate, but more people are coming to recognize this now. There's a difference between the medical of there's a pharmacy to
Right.
fix those elements, and but we have that power. We have the power to get rid of it. It's just tuning in and tapping in to our own energy sources. And it's a path a lot of people don't necessarily want to go down, because it's a hard path. It's a
Mm-hmm.
hard path to let go of all of those limiting beliefs. It's a hard path to do all of that, and to like really look at yourself in the mirror and be like,
Yes.
you know what? I did let that happen.
Right.
You
That
know,
reminds me, we were talking about how society desensitizes our spirituality. and we don't even know it. Like, my spiritual journey started in 2019. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. We don't realize that.
Yeah. No, we don't. And, and what a lot of people don't realize is, our source, our energy, our natural state of being is love. It is
Mm-hmm.
unconditional love for everyone, anything, and you are included in that. And we forget that.
We
You
don't
know, we're
feel it.
we don't feel it because we're taught to worry about everyone else. We're taught not to worry about us. And so we stop recognizing and we take on other people's energies.
Mm-hmm.
When I really started to embrace that, my connection, and, there is nothing special about my energy connection. That's like one thing that people need to understand and realize. We all have this capability. We
Right.
all, it's just when you're ready to do it, you can realize
Yes.
that you have the power to do it. I was
Mm-hmm.
there a while ago, but, if you're in anxiety, and and you're in fear, that's your body telling you, your body. And what we don't understand, and it also, this goes into the mental health, it goes into the mind on it. Fear and excitement are the
Mm-hmm.
same vibration. You have the
Mm.
same energy. They're the same exact, but what are you focusing on?
Right.
Are you
Either
focusing on
negative
the fear, or are you focusing on the
on the
excitement? Because
positive.
if you focus on the fear, that's the vibration that you're putting out. They're just at lower frequencies, they're
Mm-hmm.
just lower. But if you focus on that fear, you're attracting more. That's your vibration. Like, think about when you
Mm-hmm.
jump into the water, there's a ripple effect. Well, your emotions and how you feel about things, other people's opinions, that you're honestly putting on yourself, and you put a ripple out. And we have to learn how to control that ripple. We have to learn how
Mm-hmm.
to do that. And like in my journey, like I would get really, really bad anxiety, really bad. And I would sit there and I would look and I would be like, there's nothing in my life going on right now. Like, I should feel this way. Like,
Right.
what is going on? Like, why do I feel this way? So then I started focusing on the people around me. And I was like,
Environment.
huh, okay. That person is always that way. They are always, I'm taking on their energy. I'm taking
Mm.
on, being that people pleaser, I'm taking on their problems. I'm taking on their burdens. I'm feeling it for them when they're not. Well, you know what? We can return to sender.
Yes.
Return it. Return it. And
Yes.
it is that simple. Return that stuff. And as soon as I started really truly acknowledging my environment,
Mm-hmm.
what I
Mm-hmm.
was putting myself in, and realizing that, hey, this emotion is not mine. This is not, I don't feel this way. And I stopped focusing on that because it was so loud. It was so bold. It was
Mm-hmm.
so overwhelming. And I just started focusing on me. Well,
Nice.
guess what? All that energy, all that anxiety, all of that stuff went away. And then I was able to start focusing, well, what is it that Megan really likes? What is it that Megan really wants? Because you know what? I actually have given a lot of damn time thinking about like what everyone else.
Other people. And like even as a kid, I didn't realize that I was consuming other people's energy. And when you're not taught this, at an adolescent age, you confuse other people's energy with your own, and then you don't know how to return a sender. You've never heard of that. You don't know how to differentiate how you feel versus, who's in your environment. And that's what I love about being into spirituality. The more you find out who you are, the dark and the light, you're able to heal past traumas and approach situations in a more enlightened space instead of taking things so personal. Because I used to take everything to heart, and my deeds still show that.
They do. But that's what's funny is that mine did too. Even though, but that's what's so beautiful on the handwriting is it's taking, okay, well, great. You already have all this awareness about yourself. You're already, doing that, but there's always more. We're
Always more.
always working for our
Mm-hmm.
highest self. We're always working
Yes.
to become a better version of ourselves. And so it's okay, great. Well, now you've learned these lessons. Now you've learned this. Universe is going to start showing you other lessons that you need to learn. And like right
Mm-hmm.
now for you and I both, it's that D aspect because yeah, we don't care.
Right.
But it's because we avoid, and we shouldn't be avoiding life because we have to deal. We should be getting out and doing
Yeah.
things. And so, okay,
Mm-hmm.
great. But see, what's happening is those lessons that we would be learning right now, if we weren't in the mindset, if we weren't in the
Mm.
spirituality, don't like really kind of think of it, but think of like one of the worst like moments where it's like you wanted to crawl in that freaking cave, you would be
Mm-hmm.
manifesting that. Now you're
Right.
manifesting your growth. Now
Mm-hmm.
you're getting deeper and connected with you, where these things don't matter, and you're in a healthy mindset of that.
Mm-hmm.
You can be truthful with yourself. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
That really is why I don't do this. I don't want to deal with this person, and be okay with that. Not
Yes.
hold judgment on yourself, not feeling like you're
Mm-hmm.
being judgmental. The fact of the matter is that person, when you're around them, makes you feel like this, and that.
Yes.
And I don't like feeling like that.
Mm-hmm.
You're not allowed in my space.
And that's
And,
listening to your intuition, being in tune with respecting your own boundaries.
your
Mm-hmm.
energy, understanding,
Yes.
there's a reason your body is screaming out to you. If you go hang around a person and all of a sudden you get anxiety, a perfect example of that,
Mm-hmm.
my ex-husband, when him and I first started dating. Now, I grew up in a dysfunctional house. I grew up in a very violent home, mental,
Mm-hmm.
verbal, emotional, physical abuse. I grew up in that. But even with growing up with all of that, I never had anxiety attacks. Like, I had managed to a point. But now, some reason in my life, now I was studying psychology. I was, in school. I had done some things. Now, all of a sudden, though, like, I'm having anxiety attacks like all the time. Like, I'm having to pull over or drive over the road. So what do? I go to the doctor.
Right, of course.
Doctor's like, you have anxiety. Take this pill.
Mm.
No, I
Mm-mm.
would have saved myself a lot of time, but I had lessons to learn. So I am thankful and I am grateful for the time we shared.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact was, my body was saying, get away from him.
Mm.
Stop being with him. He is not good for you. My body was telling me, but I ignored it. I went and I got a medication for it. And then,
Right.
yeah, guess what? I stayed on pills the whole entire time of our relationship.
Mm.
And then I get divorced and I'm no longer on pills and I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And
You
that's a
know,
perfect example of desensitizing, your spirituality accidentally because you have this ailment, but you don't know where it's coming from.
exactly. And that's where we have to get in touch with there's always a reason. There's always, you just don't want to be honest with yourself
Mm. Or
because
you
you're
don't know
afraid.
how.
You don't know how, but really it's that you don't want to hurt someone else,
Oh, that's
but
so true.
you're completely
Unhappy.
okay. You're completely okay being unhappy and being miserable yourself. You're
But you know
completely
what? I thought if it didn't hurt, I wasn't doing it right. If I wasn't miserable, I wasn't doing it right.
Well, that's because the company you grew up in was misery loves
Mm.
company. So, and I was taught the same way. Like, I mean, like, and I was called out on it. So I've always been this way, like my whole life. Like I was always the black sheep. It was always,
Mm.
I'd be in like, I used to always be told that if my looks could kill, they would.
Mhm.
And like my kids to this day, like wonder how I can raise an eyebrow up like that. And it's because of the crap I heard as a kid, like it was my environment, but it was my spirituality really coming out, but years of it, of trying to fit in, trying to belong, trying to
Mhm.
be, I ignored me,
Right.
but my body was telling me.
Right. Now I think we're going to another commercial break. I'm not too sure.
I think so.
Quick commercial break.
Wait, you want some more? Wait, you want some more? Okay. Wait, you want some more? Wait, you want some more? Okay.
Hello, ladies. Look, I had to drop on back in because this conversation is fire. Okay, I was over here taking some notes and again, just wanted to be involved because you guys kind of just drew me on in. So I want to ask you, ladies, what are your favorite ways to energetically align yourselves? Because we're talking about a lot of different stuff coming at us. We're talking about people that are, we'll call them energy vampires, right? So
Mm.
what are some of the ways that you talked about a couple of things, but what are some of the other things that you like? Grounding, things like that. Let's talk about some of those ways to just kind of find that energy alignment. Let's go ahead and start with you, Megan.
Well, it's actually beautiful that you said that, because of what it is now. And see, and that's the other beautiful thing about, I think, with spirituality. You become more aware to different cultures and their
Mm.
celebrations and different things. And so it's really great that right now we just moved into the new moon tonight. So it's all about intentions. It's about fresh starts, but it's in Taurus, which is grounding. It is all about
Mm.
grounding. It is looking at the big picture. It is that energy base. And a lot of people don't realize a lot of things you do, you're already grounding. You walk outside without your shoes on. Everything is an energy. The trees, like, I was sitting under, I have this huge massive oak tree, and like I was literally under it this morning, just like, God, you are so big. Like, you've been here for so long, you're deeply rooted, and it's learning to connect with nature. It's seeing those type of bigger pictures, realizing also, like, go hug a tree, people. They're there for a purpose. And guess what? Trees remove negative energy. So if, like,
Hmm.
you're not, and that's why it is get out to nature, because nature removes negative energy. So if you're having trouble understanding your own energy, if you don't know your own energy, get off your phone, go outside, take a break, sit under a tree, sit with your hand. Your left hand is more of your feminine side, it's spiritual, it's the side you receive from. So put your left hand on that tree. And, and it's simple things like that. There's, crystals, there's oils, there's yoga moves, all which I do and I embody into that help connect to ground.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Megan. What about you, Lady Cleopatra?
So everything that Megan Marie said is on point. I actually, when I see a tree, I ask its permission. Is it okay if I hug you first? And I hug trees, so I definitely there's spiritual knowledge in trees, so I'm all for that. But what I personally do is I stay positive and optimistic. That's what's gotten me through not being depressed anymore. It gets me through feeling another person's negative energy, and it helps me see the higher perspective. So I acknowledge that I'm not comfortable with the energy, but I speak life into the energy by saying, everything's going to turn out to my highest good. This person is operating from a hurt place, and hurt people. So they're not attacking me personally. They're actually needing me to pray for them and send them energies of healing, because the younger me took everything so personal, and I was just like, why do they hate me? But a lot of times it's not you, it's how they feel inside. So when you can remind yourself of that, you can take deep breaths, you can breathe. Breathing is so important. And meditation, sometimes just stopping everything, laying down, and just having some quiet time has really helped me.
Awesome. Well, Lady Cleopatra, I know you have some other questions, so I'm just going to be here. I want you to go ahead and take the reins again, please.
Yes,
I
yes.
just had to get that question answered.
So before we wrap this up, I just really want to talk about how important it is that everything is energy. What is one, I guess, like, I don't want to say words of wisdom, but one key thing that you could let the audience know, like how important energy is, how you can protect your energy, and how you can transmute negative energy into positive energy.
Ooh, that's a deep one, and there's so many elements to it. But honestly, my favorite quote came to my mind, and it is Albert Einstein said that compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Those who understand it earn it. Those who don't pay it. It goes along with your energy. For anyone whose minds just went to money, it actually has nothing to do with money. Albert Einstein was a very spiritual, a very energy based person. And he was letting us know by your vibration, by your energy, by your faiths, by your beliefs, that's compound interest. But where are you Where are you focusing? Where are you putting that? Because if you are constantly focused on that good things are coming, your highest being is being developed, that compound interest and that faith keeps building, and you earn it because you are valued, you are loved, you are worth it. And that's on your own opinion. But those who don't pay it, who pay it, you care way too much. You're taking your value, you're taking your energy, you're taking your source away, and you are giving it away. So therefore you are paying it. Pull all your energy back into you. There is nothing selfish about focusing on you and focusing on your energy and being grounded and being centered and being loved for who you are. And that's what this path is about. It's all about our energy, and and what are you putting out? Stop focusing on the negative. Stop, change that mindset. Change. Everything is always, don't dwell, don't, release it, let it go. New intentions, new beginning. And every day you should be learning something new.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
That was
I love
beautiful.
that, Megan. Yes, most definitely. Well, ladies, look, this has been an amazing conversation. Lady Cleopatra, thank you so much for coming on and being a guest host today. This has just been awesome watching, someone else run the show and do their thing. So thank you so much. And Megan, thank you so much for all of the knowledge that you dropped on us, just the wisdom. I was over here trying to do the little hand thing. I said, you know what? I did have it. So I said, okay, I think maybe I'm not blocked. Okay.
You're open. You're
I
open.
can't wait to go to your class tomorrow, and I need help. You think you open and you don't be. So
No,
that's right.
And that's also the healing. I know we're cutting it up, but even relationships. You think you're open and stuff, but that's the hard look at yourself. And through all of this, like you realize, actually, no, I wasn't. No, I wasn't, and being able to do all of that, that's what the energy is. And that's about raising, that's your forgiveness. You don't realize necessarily you have some of these own limiting beliefs until you start doing that work on yourself. And, oh, you know what? Yeah, I wasn't as angel as I thought I was. And loving yourself and being okay of like, I'm good. I'm better now.
That's right. That's right. Well, everybody, look, if you're ready to tap into some of that energy, that positive energy, you definitely want to sign up for Megan's class this Saturday. Unlock inner power with hand mudras and the energy of chakras. If you want to sign up, the ticker below has been going through. Go ahead and go to that website. And now, Megan, if they want to connect with you on the social media sites, where can they connect with you on the social media sites?
Well, I am actually in the process of rebranding all of that, but they can find me on Facebook with Megan Marie. And then I'm on Instagram as Megan Love Light and Peace, I think. But find me on Facebook. That's really my kind of like my main avenue. That's where my main focus is. So Megan Marie, and it's my beautiful picture.
Awesome. Yes. Awesome. Perfect. Well, thank you so much. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us today for another Phoenix Fitness Fanatics Magazine featured business spotlight. It's Friday. We finished the week. Hopefully you all had an amazing week. Go into the weekend and please tap into that inner energy. Go hug a tree. Please. Really tap into that power, because as soon as I get out of here, I am going to go out and I'm going to hug a tree, and just wait for that picture, y'all, okay? Because I need that energy right now. So everyone, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Take care.
Bye. Thanks for having me.